So if you want further discussion for the lessons on it, you have to do the Go ahead, Mr.
On 36010, disposal program. I've seen the sum of $1,070,000 provision for solid waste management program. God. My question is whether this is this amount would conclude the downside facility, the operation. I know it is operationalized, but whether this amount, because in view of reports recently, I think the Honorable Minister acknowledged some of those reports of smells and fumes and everything else emanating from the site. Whether this includes this amount to include the expenditure of that project.
Mr. Chairman, that contract which the Honorable Member refers comes in December of 2014. The amount allocated there is intended to complete the construction aspect of the project. But the operation aspect, of course, will continue beyond December 2014.
Under this program, was there any provision for additional downsides, as we saw recently, not so long ago, like I say, disclosures in the press that there were going to be 2 more landfills, one on the east coast of Demerara and one on the east bank, and actually a contract had been executed in the sum of $6 billion. Was that intended under this program, or that was not something that was in the cards at all?
Mr. Chairman, my understanding is that the allocation is to be able to complete the construction of the Aquabus site.
Sir, may I ask a follow-up on this? Whether, and I know this, so I don't think to say I don't know this, that this program provides for legal framework, which includes the solid waste management law. Last year, I asked the question, when will this law be brought to the Parliament? And I was told very soon. I want to ask this year again, if the government and the Honorable Minister of Finance did allude to this in his speech, that a law would be introduced in the Parliament. I know the law is drafted because I worked with the law capacity as a lawyer. But when will this law be introduced in this Parliament as part of this project?
Mr. Chairman, the solid waste bill to which the Honorable Member referred has been the subject of much checking, has been the subject of much drafted also. But we expect to be able, not long after we would have concluded the consideration of the estimates, to bring it to the level of the national.
If I may kindly clear your indulgence, Your Honor, I'm on a related subject, 3600200, National Cleanup Program. And if you will permit me to ask the question as as an excess. But not only the program, the solid waste management disposal program, there ought to have been established under law that was contingent to it a national solid waste management authority, so that if you had a national cleanup campaign for $1 billion, then it would have been the authority who would have been managing or in some way dealing with that aspect. In the absence of not having a law and a national solid waste management authority, under this head, would the minister say that whether this sum of money would be dispersed to the Georgetown Solid Waste Management Program, which was set up under this program to deal with solid waste?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I wish to enforce the first part of the report and to say that at the level of the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development, Ministry of Natural Resources and the Environment, the Ministry of Public Works, the technical staff have been engaged in setting out the preparatory work for the establishment of the Solid Waste Authority. So notwithstanding the fact that the bill has not been tabled here yet, some preparatory work is being done. So specifically to deal with the issue of the $1 billion, it is expected that, in fact, what has happened so far is that at the level of the ministers, local government, regional development, natural resources, the environment, public works, we have all met and put together our thoughts, our views on the way forward in pursuit of the objectives of this cleanup exercise. Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development is responsible for the disbursement of this money. And the disbursement will be based on what comes out of a needs assessment and what comes out of a program for the cleanup of the city. Very shortly, the technical people at the level of the ministries to whom I just alluded, we want to bring also, we will be bringing also on board the city council, the private sector, and we want to involve people at the level of the community. Okay? So these are some of the key stakeholders: local government, public works, agriculture, tourism, of course the Georgetown Mayor Council. These are, we have already started engaging them. But what will happen is that we all know that the city is divided into groups, and in each group we have communities, and we will be looking at all of them to identify needs, to identify resources, to identify responsible agency to move the process forward. So, but the specific with respect to the prime question asked, it is the Ministry of Local Government that's responsible for the disbursement of the funds. And we have no plans, as I stand here, to disburse money to any council at this point.
Ms. Garrido, followed by Mr. Troutman, followed by Mr. Scott.
I was just going to ask the honorable minister for a list of the different areas that he intends to clean up, including the allocations. But now I see that he now wants to do assessment. So I'm thinking that, Minister, you came to this house and asked for $1 million, and you didn't know, you didn't do any needs assessment. You don't know yet if this money is going to be adequate or not. You put the cart before the horse.
You mean to clean up the city?
I really needed a list.
Is the question, I remember, whether or not $1 billion is going to be enough to clean Georgetown?
Yeah,
That you should have done a needs assessment of the cleaning? No, that was being asked. when you did a needs assessment as to what is needed before you allocate to the $1 billion.
What we're doing, Mr. Chairman,
Please repeat that to the member to hear. Other members could be here in a minute, so you need to respond to the question.
first of all, let me remind honorable members that 500 million of this money is intended to be used in the Georgetown City. The other 500 million is intended to be used in other urban and rural hinterland areas. And in fact, we have already started since 2013 a regional solid waste program. And the funds being made available will go a far way in terms of advancing that program. Some preliminary work has been done to identify areas of focus. Okay? Focus in sluices, main canals, the cemeteries, of course, monuments, roadside drains, parapets, and alleyways, the need for public awareness. So this is some of the areas of focus. We have also looked to examine the present condition of communities within the groups to which I already alluded, the 10 groups into which Georgetown is divided for the purpose of solid waste management. We have looked to examine the present condition and the nature of the activity needed to repair whatever damage there is to that condition. So we're looking at what is the present situation, what needs to be done to bring the desired improvement, what resources are needed, both human and capital, what resources are needed to bring about these changes, how do we monitor the works taking place. That is the level to which we are at.
Other members, we have 10 minutes remaining to consider this agency, so I'm going to take a few questions. Ms. Rita Lowe, to be followed by Mr. Crossan, to be followed by Ms. Ferguson.
Thank you.
Scotland Ferguson, sorry.
Follow up with the same report. Honorable Minister, so since you don't have a mind, they really, this $1 billion will be adequate because the house can expect to go back on the same programs and supplementary.
Mr. Chairman, I never pronounce on the adequacy or inadequacy of the money. That's because we are not about to usurp the role of the municipal and the local government. We're not about to do that. We're supporting, we're assisting. So I have never pronounced on the adequacy or inadequacy.
Mr. Trotman, sir.
Chart 60010. Mr. Chairman, this is a large project. This is a project with a large cost attached. More than $5.25 billion. And the information which we are getting is vague. I wonder if the minister can give us in writing a breakdown of the percentage of work that already done, and the cost for each individual activity that has to be done, and the cost that will accrue to this project in 2024. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, I want to direct the minister's attention to 1900-600. And I want to ask him to look at the project which is kind of completion of Maureen Kitana and Sanjay Block Box. And again, we don't have a sense of what percentage of the work is being completed and what is the cost of that completion. Can the minister give us in writing this information? and include in it the percentage of work that has to be done and the cost that will accrue to those works. I would also like to have the dimension of these of these entities that he intends to that are being done at this point.
Mr. Chairman, the question of the status of the market project was never raised until now. In terms of the Mabruma Market tarmac, 75% of the work has been completed. Okay? And this is a contract with Joshi Construction and Transport Services. But that has been completed. With respect to the extension of the market tarmac, that has been terminated. That has been terminated, and we are to retender that. Okay. I hope that's satisfied.
No, it doesn't. I want to know, and I believe this house is entitled to know, what is the dimension of these works that are being done. Because we want to know what 75% is. We also want to know, as you said, that the work has been done in relation to another aspect. Why has it been done? And how much money has
I have the
been spent?
information.
And how much money has been spent?
But I was mindful of the 10 minutes that we spoke about earlier on. In respect of the construction of the Mabruma Market tarmac, the 250 feet by 136 feet with stand boom, in proportion 6:40. Compacted with gravel. It's a lot of information. Like
One member, Mr. Trotman, wouldn't you be more comfortable having this in front of you so you can actually?
I could make it
No,
available.
that's my point.
Would you like to have the document?
That is why I asked him.
Yes, but then I didn't-
We'll make the document.
Make the document available. I think you get a better sense when you can get the scale and so on.
In addition, Mr. Chairman, we have documentation that talks about the levels of achievement, what was done in the area of construction and in the area of operations at the Hatfield Solid Waste site during 2013, the costs, and what is proposed to be done during 2014 in the area of construction and operation, institutional strengthening of capacity, etc. This can be made available to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I recommend Mr. Keith Scott, honorable member.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Minister, this is a new project, and there are $359 million. I'm talking about 100,700. And in view of this whole problem of the kitty market, do you have any plans within the project to rescue that market from total destruction?
That project code to which we report, honorable member, 190700 refers to subventions to municipalities and other local government bodies. It does not capture kitty markets.
I recognize next Mr. Ferguson and then Mr. Renita Williams.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Project code number 3600-200, National Cleanup. We on this side of the house, we welcome this. But my question to the Honorable Minister, or just before I get into my question, I can recall last night while we were examining the estimates on the Ministry of Housing. They have this new, I think, community something project coming up. 484 million has been budgeted and approved. Now we're seeing, and the explanation given by the minister then, the honorable member, is that this money will be used to enhance communities, bridges, cemeteries, amongst others. Yet what I have heard the honorable minister Whitaker just alluded to is that this 1 billion, a portion of this 1 billion, will be doing the same thing. And Mr. Chairman, what we're seeing here in this National Assembly is duplication and replication of projects. And yes, when it comes to natural resources, we might be seeing something coming under this effect. And I think it is time for us to put a stop to it. We heard about 484 million, Minister just allowed me, 484 million approved last night. It said that, excuse me, allow me to make my point. He said that the monies will be used for cleaning of cemeteries. We can go back to the answer from last night. Now, Mr. Whitaker is saying honorable member, sorry, cemeteries, bridges, roads. You know, I just can't understand this. This is appalling. So please, honorable minister.
Honorable members, let us first, instead of making the claim of tea or something wrong with this, let us find out. I don't know how many cemeteries we have in Guyana. Mr. Lowe may need $1 billion to bring it back into some proper condition. I don't know. So, our minister, you may wish to say what cemeteries your monies are going to. Because indeed, we heard last night that monies are earmarked for cemeteries nationwide as well.
Mr. Chair, I understood the Honorable Minister last evening to speak about community roads improvement.
He did say cemeteries. Cemeteries.
Different projects. And the minister referred to particular NDCs, a number of NDCs in which that project is being rolled out. We are talking about cleaning up. Our focus is on the drains that our focus is on the covers and sluices that need rehab. In other words, our focus is on remedying those areas that contribute to damage, flooding. That's not our focus on.
Honorable members, I really need to allow about 3 more questions. And I need to put a vote that if we have enough information, so whether or not we want to send this forward as approved or not. There are about 4 persons indicating, including 3 in the front and 4 in the back. There are 7 persons indicating as desired to ask it. Go ahead, Ms. Ferguson.
Under this very project called Mr. Chairman, the minister, honorable member, further alluded to stakeholders being a part of this whole cleanup campaign. I can recall us having a motion moved in this National Assembly last year, March 2030, by the honorable member, Ms. Lawrence. What my suggestion to the minister is that what he should seek to do is to get even parliamentarians, because we have geographical responsibilities. So apart from getting the city councils and the other stakeholders involved, we too should be a part so that we can monitor the activities whereby the cleanup campaign is concerned. That's just a suggestion. The minister can run with this or not.
Mr. Chairman, all 150,000 people living in Georgetown are a part of this project because we expect them to help to monitor and sustain it. Because it's not just about spending the money, it's about maintaining what comes out of the projects that revolve around the money.
Ms. Williams, question please. We have to move on.
Chair, my question on the...
Very well, I recognize Ms. Selman.
No, sir. It's Alcock.
Ms. Alikov, sorry.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to return to all your roads conducted in the next Project code 36000100, solid waste. To the Honorable Minister say, what is the total allocation for Region 9? And would the 5 sub-districts be included in this act?
Mr. Chairman, this particular project which we refer here is confined to Region 4. But we have at the level of the ministry determined that we must work to replicate it across the other 9 regions. And for that reason, we have started. In Region 9, you have a contractor who is responsible for, that's at the level of the LETM, and we hope to extend that to result into replicated in other areas. Because you have a contractor there who collects the solid waste. And we want to replicate that. Okay? So the answer is it's not captured in this Plus solid waste program, but we have a regional solid waste program which sees us, with the help of the EPA, identifying suitable landfill, developing these sites, and using these sites. Okay. And may I just one thing? We have taken on board the plan presented by the Honorable Member, Mr. Walter Lawrence, that is for technical committee, that did a lot of work in determining areas that needed to be remedied. In fact, I did tell Ms. Lawrence this. And as we sit around to work on the modalities and all the final details, certainly we would want to have that committee or Ms. Lawrence on board.
Very well, excellent. May I now invite Mr. Bassett Williams and then Mr. Bulkan will have the last word.
You more most gracious, Mr. Chief. But I respectfully decline. The honorable member and for himself as I expected.
Very well, Mr. Bulkan, then you may have the last.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Line item 3600-200, the National Cleanup Program. It's a follow-up question to those already asked. Of the provisional allocation here of $1 billion, the Minister of Finance had indicated in his budget speech that 50% of this, or $500 million, will be allocated to be used in Georgetown. My question to the Honorable Minister, government that is, would the local democratic organ, which is the Georgetown City Council, would they be integrally involved in the decision to fund the particular activities under this program? Would it be a decision of the Georgetown City Council?
Mr. Chairman, there will be a part of the whole project planning and the whole implementation. We could not exclude them, but they will be part. I don't know about the other things that I mentioned, but there will be a part. We couldn't leave them out. And in fact, I have communicated this information to the President.
Thank you, Mr. Minister.